Hello. Once again, I am finally back. So, in this one, I want to talk about just a simple thing. And then in the next one, we're going to talk about is the world ending? Because I'm seeing some stuff from that these days. And you know, we see it throughout history. But anyway, we'll get to that later. So, recently I saw this video from Shoe on Head, if that's how you pronounce that. And she was covering this video from a streamer, I think named Emiru. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that either. And so the whole thing was Emiru was on stream and she was asked in the chat, what do you think about ice? And she was like, well, I don't want to get into politics. And then the hammer came crashing down and people were like, how hard is it to just say, like, fuck you, ice? And so Shoe on Head was all like, basically saying that this is ridiculous, that we should just expect everybody to be involved with politics. And I will agree that, you know, part of that seems a little bit insane. I don't think we should just go attack people who don't want to say, like, who don't want to put their career on the line. If you're a content creator, then picking a side in politics, I mean, can put part of your career on the line, I guess. And I mean, yeah, it sucks. But my question is, though, like, surely there is a line that is crossed when it comes to something. What I mean is, like, if you can't condemn ICE publicly, like, what is the line? Like, has ICE not crossed this line of being just horrible enough to where we should, like, the immediate response should be like, yeah, fuck you, ICE. Because if you were asked on stream, what do you think about murder? And you're just like, I don't want to get into politics. Or whatever it may be. Whatever, insert whatever other evil action you want to put instead of murder. If you weren't able to condemn that on air, it would feel like, hang on, you can't even say that? Like, you're so worried about the few murderers in your stream that you're not willing to condemn it. And so for me, I just wonder, like, okay, so we apparently haven't publicly crossed this line of what is going on right now, being evil enough to, publicly condemn without, like, well, that's the thing, there's just, I guess, a lot of support for ICE and for what's going on by this administration. And maybe murder and, how do you say that on YouTube? Epstein stuff suddenly falls under this. How did this become a point of contention? How did suddenly it's like, oh, this is a right-wing, left-wing thing, you know, doing this stuff with kids. It's like, I don't understand it. But anyway, I watched that video and I thought, well, I can understand that, yes, maybe people are being a little too hard on Emiru in this case. Like, I think it is possible to not really know what's going on right now. But surely there is a line where you would either just say you are incompetent and not, like, you don't have the right to call yourself an adult if you don't know what's going on. And I'm not saying we've crossed that line yet. I'm just saying, surely there is one, right? Like, do you agree with that idea that, like, you should be able to take a hard line stance on certain things, like whether they are good or evil? I don't know. Also, it's like, do you need to, though, with something like murder? Like, the whole point of this having a stance on ICE, I think, is that it is such a partisan problem where it's kind of an identifier, or it's like you are in support of this administration or you aren't. And so it's a way to tag somebody as being on your side or not. But anyway, as far as like that goes, I guess I can see it and I can have some sympathy. But just to say, like, at what point do we cross the line? But the part that I really turned me off from the rest of that video was when Shu started to talk about like, why is everybody comparing these MAGA with Nazis? Like, can't you think of anything else? Like it just goes straight to, oh, Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. And like, I guess I have the same question. Like, at what point do you cross a line where you would say this, right? Like, are you saying that it's not an applicable term? Are you saying that it's never a comparison that we could ever make again? Like, there's not a possibility that the same sort of social influences and things that gave rise to the Nazis could ever happen again. Like, that's just silly to bring Nazis into it. Because that's kind of what I felt from her tone in that video. It was just like, this is absurd to call them Nazis. I was like, okay, well, at what point would it be an appropriate comparison to make? I just have been imagining, get out of here, getting eaten by a fly. My goodness. I've never seen flies be like, what is this? Get the hell out! I got him. Oh my God, it was a bee. That was a honeybee. Holy shit. Kill the bees? That was insane. Did you see that? Or did you just see me beating my head like an idiot? Oh my gosh. I swear that thing latched onto my ear. And I was worried. I'm like, well, it might be a stinging insect. So I don't want to, like, smash it and get stung. But the second time when it latched on again, I was like, well, it didn't work to wipe you off last time. So I, desperate times called for desperate measures. And I had to box my ear. My goodness. Whew. That'll get your heart rate up. Oh my gosh. Anyway, how dare you call that a killer bee? Like, is there any other comparison you can make? Hey man, I don't know. I think that is the stinger on my shirt. And it's soaking my shirt with the venom. I just got stung second hand. Let's see if I can zoom in with one hand. Where are we looking? There. You can see it's a little wet spot. And it's even pumping. Okay. Ow. I mean, it's not horrible. I noticed a little stinging sensation. Okay, how do we get this thing out of here? So I don't get stung repeatedly. Man, I'm trying to just have a conversation out here. You sit there. Let's see, I do have a knife. You gotta have a knife for eating mangoes. And sure enough, I guess I can just pull it out. Yes, sir. That is a stinger. That mother freaking bee. Give him the middle finger. How dare he? Yep. I did nothing. I'm an innocent hiker out here. That guy was steaming mad. There must be a bee's nest somewhere. It's got to be a killer bee. I've never seen a bee be so aggressive. To come just latch onto your ears? Get out of here, man. Okay. Fluster me over. Anyway. So I just thought that was kind of like, at what point? At what point of the government's overthrow and of the tyrannical takeover do you need to be like, okay, now I'll call it Nazis? Is it when it's too late? I don't know. For me, it's just like insane. And I was thinking like that I bet in 80 years or, you know, some amount of time in the future, there's going to be some other uprising, some other, assuming America survives this, there's going to be something else that happens that looks a lot like this MAGA thing. And I just imagine at that time, people being like, you're just like MAGA. And then people being like, you're gonna call us MAGA? Blah, blah, oh my gosh. We're not MAGA. There's nothing like it at all. Come on, that's such an unfair comparison. That just, you know, underestimates how bad that they really were. Blah, blah, blah. You know, just stuff like that. And it's like, if you can ever use history as a lesson to learn from, because people are just like, nothing like it, then it's like, well, what's the point of, what do we actually learn, you know, from going through this stuff? Anyway, I'm gonna call this video because it's a little longer than I expected it to be. Thanks to getting attacked by a bee. I swear. I wonder if that was one of those drones the government's been working on. It's out here just like listening in. It's like Lord of the Rings now. We've got bees listening in. Like, we heard the key word. Attack, attack, attack. Okay, I'm out. And this one just talked about. At what point do we cross a line where it's like, yeah, everyone should be able to condemn what's going on. And it's not like, oh, I don't know if it's actually bad. I'm not an expert. It's like, but it's murder. You know, at what point do we cross the line where it becomes like murder, essentially? Anyway, that's what we talked about in the Nazis. Bye. Almost there.